Jaspreet Kaur, August 2nd, 2014. I was in 4th grade, so 10, 11 I think, yeah. We lived in Shalimar Bagh in Delhi. That's north part of the Delhi. Not that much. The only thing I heard was that, there were some terrorists inside the Gurdwara, and that's why, it was raided, and, there was a lot of, gunshots, and a lot of people were killed. So that's what I know about it. That's what happened. That's what I hear. Mm-hmm. No, nothing that I know of. Yeah, I've heard. So that's something that's really ingrained, which I remember each and every part of it. I still remember we were all sitting outside. We were still in our nightgowns. My mom, she got a telephone call from West Delhi where her cousin lived. And she said there were a lot of buildings which are burning over there. So my mom got really scared. And my dad was sitting with one of our friends, which 2 houses down, and that guy was a major in the army. So my mom just ran over there to tell that to my dad, that this is what is happening. And that major uncle said, "Oh, you know what, Prajaiji, don't worry, I'll just call up, call up somebody in the military, and I'll have people, standing around this. Don't koi ghabrandi, koi gal nahi hegi hai." So, he called up, and what I remember clearly is he called up and he was told, "We are really sorry, we don't have orders." And, my dad then came back. We just didn't know what to expect. And then suddenly we hear this big mob, pelting stones at our houses. We just ran inside our house. We hid in the, the last most room. And we closed, we had a channel gate inside. We still have the channel gate. We closed that. We had a teak wood door. After that, we closed that. And it was me, my mom, my younger sister, my dad, and my chacha who, lived with us at that point. So we were all hiding in that room, and we could just hear stones going left, stones. We could hear stones. And after a while, it just, there was no sound. So my chacha he said, "Let me just open the door and see what's going on." He just opened the door, and we just saw fire, in our drawing room. So we all got very scared. We just went into that room. We just started pulling out, all the furniture from that room. And I don't know how, but my mom opened the back door of the house. She opened the back door, and there was this neighbor auntie who was standing. She was standing over there, and we all just ran to her house. And I know she was very scared. I mean, I was 10, and my younger sister she was 6. We were very young at that point. And my mom kept on calling. She kept on calling my chacha, "Just come." But he didn't. It was I haven't been able to thank him, but it was because of him that our house was saved. He kept on, and people helped, it was just the mob. And I still remember, and I think the sad part of the whole episode was that there was this guy who came down from Assam, and he was sitting with one of our neighbors, and when the mob came, they all went upstairs, but he jumped from that one house. And he came to our house, and he hid behind the two-wheeler, which we had in our home. And they just dragged him out and, burnt him alive. And, and I saw the dead body, covered in white sheet. And then my mom said it was because of him that our family was saved. So I remember she did a part for him. But thank God, thankfully, I still feel we are the lucky ones, I mean, the people who suffered like crazy, but, our house didn't burn down, but yeah, the drawing room was all bad, it was all burned down. And everybody thought either it was my dad or my chacha who got killed, but thanks to God, So I still feel that, we were so lucky that nothing happened to my dad. My mom was safe. I was safe, my younger sister was safe, my chacha was safe. And then neighbors helped out a lot. We stayed with a Hindu family for 10 days till there was this march about, Hindu Sikh bhai bhai. So I still feel this was all government initiated. I didn't see any of, one of the neighbors got really scared because of their lives. He said, "We can't have you stay in our house." So I clearly remember sleeping on couch which was full of that shattered glass. That was the scariest day of my life, sleeping in that one room, huddled with each other. We had not eaten the whole day. But after that, like one of my dad's closest friend who was a Hindu, he helped us. We stayed there for 10 days. And after 10 days, we came back to our house. And then, of course, the whole thing started with, like rebuilding the house, that room. And I feel, at this point in my life that, yes, I really want to do something with the 1984 riot victims. I keep hearing about, kids who are being drug addicted and, getting into alcohol. So I am starting a project of my own where I really want to kind of financially help the 1984 riot victims. So we'll see. But yes, that's a dark chapter, which anytime I think about it, it's something I don't remember a lot about my college days and my high school life, but this is something which is just ingrained in my mind. And I remember each and every detail, how that mob looked, I mean, like these are all rickshaw people, like low-class people who drive, driving probably rickshaw or, like auto rickshaw. And they damn didn't know, probably they were paid money or whatever to do all this stuff. But I don't think in general the public, or anybody, like he was Hindu, wanted to do something like that. I don't think so. And, that was a big testimonial that it was driven by government because of that major uncle who said, I called up and he was told that we don't have orders. Although it was very easy for him to, kind of call a bunch of people who could have stayed, kind of come right there and stop this thing. But no. We do. At least the elder one. Younger one is 8, so he's too young to understand anything. But yes, every now and then, So I started talking to him about the project that I want to do myself. So he knows, and he goes to a camp, every year. So they talk about that in the camp too. And I know he's sitting right there, right now in the front row of the debate team. So he talks about it, So, and even my brother, who wasn't even born at that time, so he knows a lot about it. And he has promised me he's going to help me raise the money. So yes, that's one thing. And I think you guys are doing a great thing, about recording the history. I think that's going to go a long way. Absolutely. We did think about moving to Chandigarh at one point, and my dad got his papers transferred and everything, but then he didn't want to move, so we're still staying there. And I remember when Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated, all his friends came that, again, something like this is going to happen, so, we just want you to move from here. My dad was like, I'm not going to move, we'll see whatever happens, so yes, we're still there. So the memories are still there, fresh, anytime you talk, everything comes in front of your eyes, what all happened. Absolutely, for quite some time. But yes, then, slowly, everything starts fading away. I mean, you don't remember that, like every day of your life. And, so it's now that for the last 2-3 years, it's something, and I don't know what that is. Probably I feel that I've come to a point in my life where I feel that I am financially strong enough. I feel I was a lucky one, even though a lot of things happened, but there were people who suffered even worse than us, and now I feel it's getting reinforced again and again that you're at a point that I feel, yes, I need to go and help out people. So yes, 2-3 years were really bad, and I still remember everything very clearly. That's what it is. I think I was at a decent age that I could understand everything and I could remember that scary part. So yes, first of all, I wish they don't have to go through this. Second, I wish that we can educate them enough that, they can take this forward. I know it's been 30 years and justice has not been served to those people. I just feel as a person who experienced this, I feel that I'm responsible to pass this, information, this history to the younger generation so that they can then, I don't know how many more years it's going to take to, kind of get the justice so that they are educated enough so they take this forward and help in getting justice. Definitely.